So welcome back, guys. Today we are finally showing off a UI for shards. As you can see, we have a neat little UI here. We can add projects, basically add our directories. We can create shards directly in the UI. We can track what's happening and refresh, and we can also show all of our projects. So I'm just going to show a little bit of workflow here. So I can just say to Claude Code, please create 5 test shards. So here we can see Claude Code has created 5 test shards for us, and now we can track them in here. So we have some errors, but there are a couple of bugs, of course, in the UI. This is fully custom built in Rust with GPUI. I have built all of the components from scratch. So there are, of course, some bugs here as well. But yeah, I can basically stop all from here. I can open them back up again. I can, for example, open my editor directly on that location. So we're now in that work tree. I can open here and work directly from here in the work tree. So I can do my Claude stuff from here as well. And yeah, I can destroy them directly from here and stop all of them and so on. Pretty neat stuff if you are looking for a way to manage your work tree and manage your parallel work streams with Claude or other agent CLIs. I truly believe that shards right now is the best way to do so. You don't have the vendor lock-in that you have from related features from Cursor or Windsurf, and you can manage everything on your own. And yeah, I think it's really cool. I'll show you a little bit more about it. I will show you the future vision of shards in this video. So please stick around. If you like it, please give me a like and subscribe. It really helps me out. If you want to see more of this, it lets me know that you like it. And yeah, I hope that you enjoyed the video. I've been working a little bit on it here over the weekend, and most of the features that exist in the CLI now also exists in the UI. So it's pretty cool. It doesn't have like proper styling, or I haven't like adapted any of the theme or any of the branding policies yet, but I have done a lot of work on the brand itself as well. So the next thing to do is now actually to start cleaning up the UI and make the UI look as we want it to. But yeah, it's pretty cool here. You can see we can now add a project. One thing worth noting is as well, we will rename shards to kilt. This is going to be KILD. So that basically means shard in Estonian. So that's the name we're going to go forward with because there was too many conflicts with the name shards. So here you can see I have now added shards as a project. I can also remove it or add more projects. It's basically just letting me add a path where I have a Git repository initialized so that we can run shards in there. Then I can create shards. I can just say a name, say test. I can run Claude, but I can also, if I want to, I can switch between Gemini, Kiro, and Aider. It's spelled Aider at the moment. So here I'm just going to say this is a test shard. But what this does really, the note here, is just to give a simple mental model about why these shards exist. Now, keep in mind, that's just a very early state. This is what I'm imagining for the UI. So we will have a little bit of a tracker status bar up top. We will rename it to kilt. I will get into why maybe in another video. But here we'll have our scope. This is essentially a project or a current working directory or a Git repository. Basically a folder location on your machine. You can store these here on the left tab, and you will have a number of kilts running in each of those projects. And here you can track everything that's happening to that one. You will have a name, you will have a note, you will have an agent running in for a specific time. You will get the git diff that you have inside of that kilt. You will be able to do a bunch of different actions here. So you can throw it away, you can go in and edit it, you can stop it, you can open your IDE at this location. So this is like right now in a work tree. So if you click here, you just basically open your IDE inside of that location, so you can go in and inspect files directly. That already works in the CLI and in the UI. And then you have some basically bulk operations here, open all or close all. You can create new kilts for your workspace. And here on the right side, you basically have stats about a specific kilt where you have an agent running, status of it, how long it's run, when it was created, some ID for the branch, the status of it, if it's uncommitted things there, what's the diff, and where it's located. Here you can also copy the path to this place. You can open it in the editor. You can focus on that terminal. So you basically bring the terminal to the foreground and you can stop or fully destroy it. So this is basically how I envision the UI. It might look slightly different than this, but this is like the early mockup that I have. This is how I see it working. I maybe want to blow it up a little bit and have it a little bit bigger. But yeah, we'll see. I like the color scheme that I have here. I might tone down these a little bit to be less screamy, but yeah, we'll see. And now to phase 2. This is going to be later on, later down the line, the long-term vision, where we have the same way. We basically have our projects, then we have our active kilts in here. We have tabs here with our open terminals. So basically we build our own terminal solution inside of shards or inside of kilt. We do keyboard first interface. So we basically can do anything with Vim styled keys. So basically can do anything from the keyboard. We have some of the quick actions here. We can create new kilts here. So very similar, just the difference here is that we need to fit the terminal somewhere. And I'm also playing around with the idea of having these kind of like a grid view instead. So I can have like many terminals that I can like jump in between quickly instead of having to jump between the tabs up here. But yeah, we'll see that when we get there. But that's basically the vision of how I see it a little bit further down the line. With that out of the way, this here is what we're going to start building today. So soon the app is going to look something like this. And now I'll show you around it what it looks like right now and what it's capable of right now. Okay, so if we take a look here at the UI, it looks pretty basic at the moment. We can add a project. We can't copy paste into here yet, but yeah, let's just do. So I added shards. I basically just entered my path, right? Like we can add a new project. We just enter the path to our project and we give it a name. So I added shards here. Now I can create a new shard. I can just say testing. We have Claude. We can also cycle through and have a bunch of other options. But I'm just going to say test shard. We can do Gemini, Claude Code, Codex, Kiro, Aider, yeah, you name it. So I'm just going to start here with Claude. And when I press create, it basically launches Claude Code for me inside of the worktree that we created. So worktree testing that we had. And now I can basically just start working on my project here from within this worktree that is created on top of our shards directory. I'm just going to make sure here, we might have a bug. I'm going to ask it, where are you located and what is the project? So I'm just going to say list all the files in the project just to make sure it has the correct project files. It should of course have this, you can see here, and I can already see this in the correct one. So it has the crates. We can stop it here. That's fine. So we can now take a look in how it looks in the UI. If we go into shards, if we refresh, it doesn't show for some reason. So yeah, we have some filtering bugs here. I knew from before we had some filtering bugs, but if we go to all projects, we can see it. So we can see that it is here. It just doesn't show up in shards because some filtering issue. But yeah, it doesn't matter. If I close it, we can see here, if we refresh, that it goes red. So we can see that we don't have an active window. We can press play again to go in with a new instance inside there. We can also press play to open a second one. Basically, we have two now. We can keep them here. We can close them from the UI. We can also destroy it so that this will terminate it and then terminate the work tree and everything. So yeah, it's pretty neat, pretty useful. What we can do as well, we can just, we have a terminal here. Let's just open Claude Code and we can tell it, can you please create 5 shards for me? You can call them test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and launch them with my default config. So this is a skill that we have for shards. It should now load the shard skill. Let's see. So here we go. It's starting shards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we go. So we have all of our shards open. Let's take a look in the UI. We should be able to now see them here and we can focus them. So there is a little bit of a bug in ghostty here. It works really well if you use iTerm. You can just press focus and it focuses out on the shard that you want to focus on. You see right now it kind of focuses on the one that I want to see, but also on the process that was first started. So there's a little bit of a bug there. I have it in the issues. I will fix it soon enough. It's fine. I can also now stop all. If we refresh, we can see that they all are stopped. We can open all of them again. You can see that they're all basically opening here. Yeah, let's just stop them, refresh. If we, one more cool thing that we can do is that if we press edit, it opens our IDE inside of the worktree. So if you want to go directly into our IDE in the worktree, we can just press that button when we open it, and we can start reviewing, editing, you name it, directly in that worktree. And of course, we can then also go in here and we can open Claude Codes from here, and we are directly in the worktree, directly from the IDE. That's also very neat. So you don't have to necessarily from the terminal, you can just open the IDE, run it from within the IDE, and run it from the terminal in the IDE if that is your preferred way of running. It's a very, very neat way of managing worktrees, managing your Claude Code instances, or whichever agent you're using. It's very easy to fix the or change the settings here. So you just have a config, and I just set up my default to Claude. I use ghostty. You can use iTerm here as well if you prefer iTerm. We can add more terminals. Support right now is ghostty, iTerm, and just the base terminal for Mac. If you have requests for terminal here, it's very easy for me to add. So just let me know if you want me to add some other terminals here. Here you have also your startup command if you want to use Claude, and if you want to also flag it with dangerous script permission. I usually run it like that most of the time, so I have that as my default. And also here is just some, basically this is a workaround at the moment just to make sure that we load the UI correctly. But everything can be managed through the CLI. So there is a skill, and this skill basically describes for your agent. You can use it with Claude Code, but you can also use it with any other agent by just giving it this file, and it will tell it how to use the CLI. And that's why I can use the CLI to manage everything. So basically, if I open the CLI here, I can just say, can you please open all of them for me? It should know how to do that because it has a skill. I don't have to like describe how to do it at all. It should just know that it should run shard open. There we go. You can see they all launch, same thing as I did in the UI. And I can now say things like, okay, we are now done testing. Please destroy all of the test shards. And I can use the force flag to just enforce the destruction if there is like uncommitted stuff on there and stuff like that. We catch everything through Git. So Git is like the orchestrating all of this. So we trust the Git errors a lot. And that's more or less it. There is a lot of options here, like how you can use it. You can create shards, you can list them, you can open the editor, you can copy the path directly to your clipboard. So you can copy the path to the worktree. Very, very neat. So yeah, there are some more features coming too, but this is all you need essentially. And then, yeah, there are some quality of life things like health and status and stuff like that. So that lets you show what is going on, like get a full list of everything that is going on. It's really helpful when you have a lot of work trees. But yeah, this will also come to the UI. We will build a little bit of a dashboard, like a status dashboard that will kind of show us everything. But now you can see if I refresh the UI, it's all gone. I'm going to make the UI a bit more responsive as well. So maybe creating some event buster or something. I don't know yet how complicated I'll make it. But what's really cool about this, it's built natively with Rust, with GPUI, so it's really, really performant, really, really quick. It's also a little bit difficult to build because I'm building all the components natively. That's also why things like copy paste here doesn't work, so I can't like paste things in. I basically need to build support for that. So I'm not sure yet if I'm going to use some component library or if I'm going to try to build all of this from scratch. I'm a little bit tempted to try to build everything from scratch just to get some kind of hands-on knowledge about GPUI and frameworks. Even though, of course, I'm not writing the code myself, I still need to understand how things are done in order to do this effectively with agents. I'm going to start now to work on the UI, as I told you already. So this is basically going to be, hopefully next time I share a video about the UI, it's going to look more similar to this. And tomorrow's video is going to be also an interactive session where I basically build features for this and plan some features for this and so on. But yeah, if you want to see any of the plan files and stuff like I built, it's all in the repo, and you can take a look at how things were done. Okay, but I think that's all for today. I just wanted to do a bit of a shorter video today. And yeah, let me know if you try shards out, if you have some ideas for features, things that you want to track, things that you think is not needed, that might be bloat or overkill. I'm really trying to make this as intentional as possible and really do things that I actually need and you guys might actually also need. Trying to make it very light on features and really have the things that we care about only and nothing more. So yeah, I think that's going to be cool. But yeah, looking forward to some of those challenges to kind of try to learn a little bit along the way here as well. Take a look on shards in GitHub. Let me know what you think. Next time you take a look on GitHub, it might have been renamed to kilts. If you see that, you know why. Okay, but thank you for watching, and I will see you again tomorrow.